Action.
It's every songwriter's dream to work on a Disney movie.
Hi, it's Ben O'Shea from the West Australian in Perth, Australia. How are you?
So good. How are you?
Oh, amazing. I wish I was over there interviewing you in person, but via Zoom from Perth will have to do. Now,
Next time.
Next time, absolutely. Now, I want to start with, Disney musicals, which now you've kind of joined this wonderful, wonderful legacy that stretches back decades and decades. What is your favorite Disney musical, and why did it resonate with you maybe as you were growing up?
Okay, well, I love Hercules. I think I love it so much. Also Beauty and the Beast, also Pocahontas, also Mulan, also Aladdin. So all of them, I don't know.
For me, it's Little Mermaid.
Sorry.
You know, as you can tell, life imitated art, imitated life. I became her. So we love her. She yearned to be where the people were, and that's what I've always wanted to.
And why do you think that these Disney animated musicals become such a huge part of pop culture, and everybody growing up has a favorite, and even sort of 20, 30 years after the fact, it's still something that they could easily bring the songs to mind without even trying?
Yeah. Because I think each story is obviously so specific to where they're located, what time period it is, and the ins and outs of the story, but the core themes have stood the test of time.
So relatable. They're
relatable in a way where that every young person growing up can see themselves in some part of that movie. We always say that we felt so connected to Moana when we first got this job, because we were going through some pretty crazy ups and downs like she is in this movie, and could really relate to her on a fundamental level. And I was like, we're not fighting lava monsters, but everyone has their own version of a lava monster, and I think that's really real.
Yeah.
So
And so what were the lava monsters that you were fighting when this movie was resonating with you?
I think we started when we met. We were just girly friends that liked to write songs together. And then all of a sudden we became business partners. And that was an adjustment, just like anything else is.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think I grew up a lot and needed to grow up a lot when we first, got this job. And life is a classroom. Life became a classroom for the last 2.5 years in the best way. But it's just getting over those, immaturities that make it I don't know, make you less professional, I guess,
Yeah, I mean, I think especially in this industry, you get the highest of highs, but you also get the lowest of lows. And learning to give yourself grace and realize that, it's a part of life, and just because we feel that low doesn't mean our life is ending and it's all our fault,
Yeah.
And I think Moana learns that in this movie, and I think it's really big to see, because the people of the next generation that will be watching this movie should see a heroine that they know and love so much for being the most brave and the most inspirational and can do anything, but also she's human. She messes up just as much as we do, and it's real. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sailing from the horizon, can't wait to reach my island, the home I've been missing and the life I meant to lead.
And the good thing is, you're coming on board for the sequel, and it's not as if you're, sort of having to step into the footsteps of anybody who was very accomplished doing the songs for the first movie.
Right.
So no pressure.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
what was that like, knowing that, you're sort of having the torch passed to you by Lin-Manuel Miranda?
It was an honor, and you're right, a daunting task, but I think it also pushed us to be and to write stuff that we probably wouldn't have otherwise if we weren't being pushed.
I think creatives love a challenge. And why would you want to stay within where you feel comfortable? So I think it was a really healthy mix of excitement and also scariness. But we also wanted to, we're different songwriters and we have our own style. So we wanted to really have one foot firmly in Moana world, while also bringing it into a new era, because why would you want to make the same movie twice? All the characters that we know and love from the first movie have grown and evolved. Because 3 years, especially when you're a teenager, it feels like a lifetime. Like you change a lot in 3 years. And we wanted the music to reflect that. And also the world has expanded like tenfold, and we wanted the music to represent that as well.
Yeah.
So
when you get a job like this, you have to kind of just believe and have faith that everything happens for a reason. We were chosen for this job for a reason, and lean into it and trust your instincts.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I think you have to realize that you were chosen for a reason. You were chosen because you deserve it. And then it's about, how you then show everybody those reasons, right?
Getting to write Maui a song was crazy.
We got a plan for breaking the curse, and even though odds couldn't be worse,
I'm making a bet on the bravest and greatest of wayfinders I've ever met. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you gonna be? Can I Get a Chihu is bombastic, it's big, and it was a lot of fun singing that song.
And so what was your process, I guess? That's what I'm interested in. Like, you get attached to this project. Okay, this is what you got to do. This was the first movie. Where do you go from there to build the songs?
A lot of conversation.
Yeah, it starts with a big conversation because we're a very small part of a very big team making this movie. And so we would meet with the writers and the producers and the directors all the time. And we got a whole bunch of research that we had to get under our belt and inside our heads when we first signed on to the project. And then you just start. You know, you pick a spot in a song that feels like the right place to start, and you just go. And then from then, it keeps evolving for 3 years until it's done.
Yeah, you get a million notes, you take them, and people take the story apart and put it back together a million times, and it's a journey, and it surely is a process.
Get lost and lose your way. There ain't no fun in holding back, babe. You gotta enjoy the thrill of living dangerously. You've got a long, long way to go. Keep playing safe, you'll never know the rules are ours to break.
There's one song where I feel like the first verse we wrote like 65 times.
I believe it.
Like, legitimately, I probably have like a version 75.
Yeah.
And going through that process, are there times when it feels that it becomes creatively more difficult when you're getting the notes, when you're rewriting a verse for the 30th time? Like, how do you then like keep finding the inspiration?
I think you have to realize that the project is bigger than yourself because you're not just writing to your tastes and what you want to do. First of all, you're honoring a character's perspective, and you're also working with a team of creatives who have, just as much stake in this project as you do. So it's learning to be collaborative and knowing when to like give up the fight and put your foot down. It's like, I know at least for our creative team, we're all still learning, even the ones that have been doing it for 25 years.
Yeah, I think I cried a lot. I think I allowed myself to feel frustrated because once you just allow it and you don't fight it, and you go, okay, I've had that moment. I've allowed myself to feel frustrated. I've screamed into my pillow. Let's get back to work. And that's what we did over and over.
And then how did you, I guess, ensure that what you were doing was like culturally authentic? Because that's a big part of Moana.
Yeah, no, I will say that Disney takes a lot of care when it comes to the authenticity of that. And from the way that her hair is parted to the etchings on the side of a canoe, like everything has research. And the music was no different. The first day we got there, we got a gigantic binder of research. And we got to speak with real life wayfinders, and they have this Oceanic Cultural Trust that was like an incredible resource. And just being in conversation with these people that do it for real, they inspired whole songs just from that. And also Tavaka and Opataya and Mark Mancino, who were such a huge part of building the sonic world of Moana, they're also on the movie with us. So they were the best guidance that we could have ever asked for.
Yeah. We also did a lot of listening to Pacific Island music and fell down many a Spotify rabbit hole, which was helpful.
And when you listen to a lot of music like that, you start to figure out what they naturally gravitate towards and like what the natural harmonies they use are, what kind of melodies are of the world, and grooves. And, you know, you just start to pick out patterns and you can inject it into your own music.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool. Thank you so much for the chat today. Congratulations on the movie. I hope you enjoyed promoting, and I can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Bye-bye.